It is I, Tentus Naravan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome. It is time to continue my discussion on the lands, legends, planes, and planeswalkers of Magic the Gathering. Well, today, I have another land for you. I'm going to be talking about the Shifting Wastes in the plane of Tarkir. So, the Shifting Sands are a massive and powerful desert that is controlled by the Abzan clan in the normal timeline, or clan Dromaka in the alternate timeline. So the main capital in the normal timeline was Arishin, this powerful fortification on a huge hill that acted actually as the trade hub through the entire desert. Any kind of trade that moved into the Shifting Wastes had to go through there. Arishin was also home to the first tree and the Khan of the clan. Now, when it came to the alternate timeline, this place was replaced by the Great Eyrie. The Great Eyrie functions as a massive fortification where Dromaka lived, effectively, made roost, but it had impregnable defenses that were nearly invulnerable by ground and was protected by avians and dragons by air, making it a nearly impregnable fortification. Mer-ek was this fortress that was on the edge of this territory that was made to protect Arishin, but in the alternate timeline, the Great Eyrie is so large that it's in fact included as in part of it. That we can see that this fortification extends as part of this entire structure at that point. The lookout roost in the original timeline was a 400-foot tower near the Suitai border, built by vulture avens and used by them to basically look after that border and protect the Shifting Wastes from invasion. In the new timeline, effectively that has been replaced by the Roost of the Unfettered, the Area of the Unfettered. This is the place, the only place in all of Dromaka's territory where only dragons live. Everywhere else, dragons and humanoids live together. But here is where it's just dragons. Of course, Kara was a settlement 2 days from Arishin in the original timeline. We only suspect that it's the same in the alternate timeline. Now, the Abzan House were a group of powerful warriors known to be working together. The, in fact, cement of their entire civilization, their entire clan, is built upon this family unit. Family means everything. This also means that being ousted from one's family is actually the greatest punishment that can be found for a member of the clan. They are pretty much exiled from the ability to, when they die, have their spirit enter into a kin tree, and their spirit is then basically cursed to wander the lands as a malicious dark spirit because they cannot join with the kin tree and their ancestor. So each family unit has a kin tree. The kin tree is their link to their ancestors and a link to the dead. Basically, the souls and names of the dead are etched upon the kin tree itself, and if you wish to connect with them, to summon their spirits or communicate with these spirits, you would use the kin tree. The firstborn of a family is the one that is basically destined to look after this kin tree. They have no other options. Other children within the family, though, have more options. They can choose to do other jobs, or they can choose to make families of their own and kin trees of their own out in the world. So you can see there is a hierarchy to the family, that there are those that can choose their path in life and make their own families, and of course the firstborn, which are destined to basically inherit the family and look after the kin tree. Now, the Abzan were very distrustful of outsiders, save the Ainok. The Ainok were the ones that are said to have originally taught them to exist within the desert, and are desert dwellers themselves. So this group of houndmen, basically, are the only ones that have trust with the clan itself. And from the outside, the clan seems unified. But technically, it's actually a group of smaller families which have their own rivalries and alliances between each other, that all they do know is that if a threat should arise, they are ready to put down those basically petty rivalries and to unite against this threat. And that's the way that they appear to be more unified than they actually are. Now, when Sarkam Vol went back in time and saved Ungin, and basically saved the dragons of Tarkir, timeline changed. During that years intervening between the modern era and that period of time, Dromaka waged genocide against the Abzan. Basically, Dromaka looked at the spirit worship that they did as some kind of affront to reality, affront to all that is right in the world. The basically summoning of the dead. And and for some time they just slaughtered off the clan. It was at a point in time where Dracovin, a Khan of the clan, basically looked to one of their artifacts and then decided, with the advice of it, to approach Dromaka, to talk to Dromaka, have an audience. He learned of this, of idealism of the affront, but the fact that Dromaka respected their tenaciousness and resiliency. Dracovin took the artifact he had and shattered it, a link to the first kin tree, as a sign that the Abzan will no longer do that, making basically a deal with the Dromaka that they will turn away from this worship of the kin spirits and ancestors in order to stay safe. There were those that joined with him that were willing to become traitors to the kin trees. Others did not. And they attempted to continue to meet with other factions of the remaining clans as they were being basically conquered by the dragons. They were slaughtered too. And it turned out that this one group that had joined with Dromaka were the ones that survived. Now, this doesn't mean that the worship of kin trees and ancestors went away. It became secretive. It became something of a taboo within this new clan, Clan Dromaka. Now, Clan Dromaka is different than any of the other clans in this alternate timeline Tarkir. They are a true community of dragons and humanoids. Effectively, they all venerate their dragon lord, lord of the clan, Dromaka. The easiest way to do this is that children are very young age are separated from their parents and raised in the community itself. This means it can instill with them this sense of community with both them and the dragons. Effectively, they are put into these adopted, extended family groups with dragons at the highest position in amongst them. This way, they learn to effectively venerate their dragons, but they also learn respect for each other in a way. This has made sure that while other clans are basically quelling rebellion amongst their members, here they're fostering friendships and fostering a relationship, which means that they are a much more united front when it comes to the humanoids and the dragons. Now, Dromaka oftentimes does still patrol the territory, seeking weaknesses within it, basically a defensive line. And where weakness is found, it is either corrected or devoured. At last result, that would be. Basically, correction is the first thing that would be one to do, but if there is a weakness, it must be eliminated. There cannot be allowed any in the impregnable defense. In fact, relationships between humans and dragons can become so good that dragons are willing to part with some of their scales to protect their human kin. That is how powerful it can be. But that's it for today. I introduced you to an interesting land and the people within it. I introduced you to the Shifting Wastes, a place that originally the Abzan clan was a ruler of, basically overlorded. This powerful desert that made tough warriors who had a connection to their spirits of their ancestors through kin trees. When the timelines changed, the dragons conquered them, and those that forsook those ancestor spirits were saved. Still, some worship them in secret, but most do not. They are united with their dragon brethren. They basically have made this clan structure which makes unity part of it, rather than what all the other clans do in quelling the rebellion of the humanoids beneath them that are always looking to overturn the dragons. Dromaka has kept that strength. That would mean, should something happen to the other dragons, well, there's one clan of dragons and humanoids that would probably survive. But if you have any questions, comments, anything you would say, anything you want to leave out, please leave in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. It shows you for the channel, the empire, the work I do. If you want to show some extra support, you can always check out my Patreon, linked in the description below. If you want to check out some other great Magic the Gathering content, I can recommend Card Bazaar, Tasty Snackies, and They Said We Said, my friends of the multiverse. They do great Magic the Gathering content. I definitely could always recommend them. But until the next time, I bid you farewell.